Click the links to send me comics, art, money, weed, whiskey, or beanies for the homeless. You know, whatever is legal to put in the mail. Today's video will not be safe for work. How's this for a title? Orgasm girl fails to get off. How does a smart, beautiful girl not get funded? Before you unsub and downvote, I am not being a jerk here. There's a problem, and I think I have the solution. I was thinking about Orgasm Girl by Trisha Kofari. She has a pop culture YouTube channel, but I noticed that I never see her in comicsgate live streams. I don't know if she's an SJW or what, but assuming she isn't, why not branch out and make some connections? She has 30,000 subs, but it's better to have 3,000 hardcore subs than 30,000 subs that are only following because it's a pretty girl. Looking at you, Cecil. Hot chicks have big numbers, but the support can be soft. When you're ugly and people support you, that support is hardcore. Just look at Ethan. Downcast was a $15 comic that got funded when Clint only had a few thousand subs. The difference? Comicsgate. Downcast tapped into a market that was ready to buy comics. People were excited about Comicsgate and its war against the soy boys. The Tim Doyles, Ren Fameses, Mark Wades. A lot of campaigns got funded during the peak of Comicsgate good vibe energy, the dragon energy phase. Comicsgate is still selling well, but we're growing projects faster than we're growing the audience. So more projects are getting funded at, say, $30,000, where last year they would have hit $50,000. There is only so much money to go around. The easy answer is stop being fighting. Put on some big fake smiles and learn to get along for the good of Comicsgate and grow in the business. But I digress a bit. I see Orgasm Girl. You've got a beautiful woman with 30,000 subs selling a book called Orgasm. Why isn't it doing better? I started to think about it. I never saw her in Drawn and Quartered or EVS's live stream or any of the associated Comicsgate channels. Oh no, baby, what is you doing? The Comicsgate associated channels in terms of outreach are Nerderotic, Doomcock, EVS, Geeks Gamers, Diversity Comics, Yellow Flash, Tug, Anna, Cecil, Kelsey, John, Malin, Mike Miller, Doug Tenaple, and probably a few more. All you have to do is drop a $2 super chats plugging your Orgasm Girl on these channels. Eventually, someone will drop you the link and you can get out there and get the word out. EVS is obviously your first choice. He can account for the majority of your funding, and the smaller channels can pick up the slack. Here's an idea. Go in people's comments. Ask if the channel owner will drop a link for you. It sounds a bit forward, but you can't be an introvert. You've got to strip off your artist smock and put on your salesman suit. Just ask. The worst thing people can say is no. Tell the channels if they plug your Orgasm Girl and it hits 30,000, you'll give them a free book. Either way, it's a win-win. You are a pretty woman who is writing a sex comedy. The book should have been funded on the first day. I'm not saying that you have to dress like a whore and pass out blowjobs, but you do have to actually talk to people. Start small. Start with the smallest channels with, say, 1,000 subs. Work on your live stream skills. Word will get out that Orgasm Girl is open and willing, and people will invite you on for a ride. There are a lot of slices of pie out there. You need to go and have a taste of each one. Engeltine from I Love Comics puts the link in the chat to anyone who is interested. Find your balls, put on your big girl panties, and start talking to people. Introverts don't sell product. You can sell anything, but you can't wait for people to knock on your door. You need to start knocking on some digital doors. The best part about using the Comicsgate network is it's very cheap. The return on investment is amazing. Go talk to all the small guys. By the time you work your way up to EVS, you'll already be stuffed full of money. EVS will just put the cream in your cream pie. Do an interview with a small channel. Pop your Comicsgate cherry. You'll discover that you enjoy it. Sure, it can be awkward and messy, but you just need to work out the kinks. Learn the ropes, so to speak. Oh, another thing is, this image down here, you probably want to use your real image, not a cartoon image. Let people know who you are, what you are. You're, a cute young lady selling a sex book. That's going to help. Blue Mamba, I suppose, is comparable. It's an adult-themed book that was successfully funded and delivered. Another comic is Stardust by Nasser Rabadi, and it sucks. But my point is, there's a market for everything, even pretentious crap like Stardust. And don't get me wrong, in 5 years, Nasser will be better. In 10 years, he'll be great. Time takes time. You know, they used to do Nasser Peace Theater, where I don't know what they do, reading Nasser stuff. And I never watched it because I thought they were really, their presentation of it was boring, but I was thinking about doing a live stream where I read some of Nasser's stuff. I'll call it Masturbation. I notice a lot of connections not being made in comicsgate. I see people beefing over the most petty BS, or a lot of passive-aggressive stuff. People purposely avoiding each other, guilt by association. I thought comicsgate didn't believe in guilt by association. Oh, I saw you supporting Mike's campaign. Bless this mess. That must mean you're anti-comicsgate. How do you figure? I would prefer to support only comicsgate. But in my book, Mike is comicsgate. Comicsgate just means SJW-free comics. Even Dirty Doug TenNapel is comicsgate. Comicsgate doesn't mean with Ethan's approval. Ethan is comicsgate, but the truth is we're all comicsgate. If your comics aren't white man bad, then join the club. CG is so small, it doesn't really make sense for factions to constantly be butt-fucking each other like a bunch of autistic retards. Sorry to swear, but this is the gayest shit I have ever seen. Not only do I see the big factions fighting, but the smaller groups are fighting with each other. I have a hard time understanding people like this. These aren't kids, these are full-grown adults who are acting like teenage girls mad at their boyfriends. I won't say comicsgate is shrinking. The fighting caused by EVS has hurt things, so the growth took a temporary pause while the new smaller channels had to find their feet. A lot of these channels are dropping subs because they're losing the people who are on the other side or just fed up with the whole thing. So those channels will bottom out and start gaining subs again. EVS's months-long attacks on Mike's channel caused Mike's channel to suffer, and his campaigns are suffering financially because of Ethan's constant attacks. But Ethan's harassment campaign has also hurt his own channel. His growth has been dead flat for a while. But once the fighting stops, both channels will recover. You just think of it as like consolidating, like in the stock market. Things have to consolidate, find its base, find support, and it will start building up again. I see this, I would think this poster would do pretty well. I don't know if you can see it on this crappy little Kindle. I guess she got a little sunblock on her face. Let's see how many. 70 claimed. Okay, let's take a look at this. A digital bundle, 100 claimed print, 90 claimed, 30,000 subs. That's pretty bizarre. So that means your audience is not, they're not into this comic, which doesn't quite make sense because it looks, from what I can see, it looks fine. Or they're not a comic crowd, which is probably more the case. Or they're a lot of like pretty girls. They get people subbed and listening just because they want to watch a pretty girl on in the background. So that's like what I mean talking about soft support. And I don't mean that as any kind of, not throwing shade or anything like that. It's just the way it is. It's what it is. If people are watching you and you're ugly, then they are really into your content, which is cool. Okay, I wanted to take a look at Malin's channel because he's somewhat neutral, and I'm like, if I look at EVS's channel, you know, everyone thinks, oh, you're always ripping on EVS and you're pro Mike. So I look at Mike's channel, it wouldn't be fair. EVS channel wouldn't quite be accurate, but Malin is, I like Malin, I'm pro Malin. Pro, I don't know what that means. I'm pro everyone who says they're comicsgate. I'll support anyone's campaign who says they're comicsgate. Or is comicsgate, even if for some whatever autistic spurgery they don't want to say it. But I figure John Malin's somewhat in the middle. So his channel is doing fine. He's getting subs, picking up subs slowly. And I think his channel is somewhat representative of CG as a whole. Very, very slow growth, but growth. So he's going to get it, okay, in a couple weeks. Like if you look at, I was going to look at their social blades, but I don't know. It might come off the wrong way. So I thought I'd take a look at Bless This Mess again. It's if you look at the backer tracker, which is just a website. God, I really should clean that thumbnail. It's going to get funded, almost certainly. But it should have been doing way, way better. It's legitimately funny. You can check it out. I'm not getting anything out of this. it has a really wide appeal, but it's funny. It's legitimately funny. Anyway, where was I going with this? I don't know. Anyway, you can check out Orgasm Girl on Indiegogo and Bless This Mess on Kickstarter, even though I don't really like Kickstarter. I much prefer Indiegogo. But I understand, like, if you're not bringing the audience with you, then Kickstarter is a better bet. But if you are bringing the audience with you, then I would go with Indiegogo, just because the little layout is a little bit cleaner. And plus, it's like if you got stuff on Indiegogo, you get the email updates, and it's like, I mean, you can do it on Kickstarter too, I'm sure. Which is, anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh, I gotta go to the mailbox and pick up. Hopefully, I'm getting Lone Star today. So I'm not Lone Star, Soul Finder. So I am so excited to be reading that. All right, guys, I will see you on the next episode.